Everyone is talking about the groundbreaking elections in Hungary just this month. We asked you on Instagram what you want to know about the election results, and this is my colleague Yuli from Budapest to answer your questions right now.
So first question, I feel like most of the young people wanted to have a change, and that's why so many people voted for Péter Magyar, because they just wanted to see something different, something more pro-European, something more pan-European in a sense. And young people were fed up of the system, about the hate, about the fear, about the propaganda. So I think that's why so many people turned out on the elections. Most of the young people has been living in a life where Orban Viktor was the prime minister for 16 years. So most of the young people don't even remember of him being at the opposition. We don't know specific numbers about how many young people has attended at the elections because we don't have demographic data yet, but for sure we know from previous polls that a lot of young people were very engaged in politics and they wanted to have a change. So most probably a lot of young people have voted for Péter Magyar. We've been on the ground at the election day itself, and we have never seen something like this before. Huge crowds have gathered in Budapest and celebrated the win of Magyar, especially young people, so we went and talked to them.
He just yelled, it's the end.
We are so happy. Things can change in Hungary.
I feel amazing because I hate Orban and his party and all the government shit.
I feel proud to be Hungarian.
This is an unimaginable thing that we can change this 16-year-old regime. It's happening right now.
Okay, let's talk about what Magyar stands for, what are the views of the party, and what's the approach to the problems. Their aim is to have a peaceful and orderly Hungary. They're emphasizing security, stability, and predictability. A free and happy Hungary, democratic institutions will be repaired, freedom and social well-being and harmony, this is something that he is emphasizing a lot. The rule of law, accountability, and zero tolerance towards corruption. Corruption has been a huge problem in Hungary the past 16 years. So this is something that Magyar Péter was saying all over again and again, repeating himself, that there will be zero tolerance towards corruption from now on. And politicians from Fidesz will be accounted because of their actions in the past years. Obviously, Péter Magyar has been criticized before. He was said to be an outside-the-system actor, while previously linked to the power. This raises the question of credibility, like how much of a new alternative is it, and how much of it is a critic from within. Tisza was also criticized previously for being a one-man show, and that we must not praise one person, but since that, he's built up a team that consists of specialists from different fields. It's still mostly him, though, who does everything. Next question. Are there many young people who didn't vote for him, since he's very conservative? Well, right now in Hungary, left-wing doesn't really exist. Right now, from now on in the parliament, there will be just 3 parties, Fidesz, Tisza, and Mi Hazánk. And for this election, the stake was not really to vote for a rightish or a leftish candidate, was to change the regime of Orban. And to do so, basically, many people felt that the only way to change Orbán's regime to vote for one party, Péter Magyar's party, Tisza. That's the reason that he got so many votes. Let's see the next question. Why is the left completely dead in Hungary? Well, left-wing parties are struggling with significant credibility issues after the beginning of the 2000s, which makes it difficult for them to win voters' trust. In addition, they lack a long-term political strategy and have difficulty engaging with the public. So that's why in this election, they've reached barely 1.3%. Let's talk about the case of the Tisza. One of their strongest statements is neither right nor left, but Hungarian. I feel like it's very important to talk about because right now, the Hungarian society is very polarized. People are not unified, and this is what they're emphasizing with this party. Doesn't matter if you're right or leftish. First of all, we have to be Hungarian. but we have to be unified in a sense. But overall, Tisza can be placed at the center-right of the political spectrum. Last year, Pride was banned by Orbán's Fidesz party, so it was a crucial point what Péter Magyar thinks of Pride or the LGBTQ community in general. Well, Péter Magyar emphasized in his answer that he's building a country where, quote, a country where no one is stigmatized for thinking differently than the majority, and where no one is stigmatized for loving differently than the majority. The LGBTQ community is waiting for further action in this matter, but this is what Péter Magyar has shared so far about this topic. Is it going to affect EU countries in some way? Well, Magyar has a EU approach, 100%. Although the Tisza party has some critical points of Brussels or the European Union in general, the fundamental aim is to deepen the Western integration with Europe. Well, it's an important question how Magyar sees the relationship between Hungary and Russia. Previously, he said that the new Hungarian government will be open to pragmatic relations with Moscow, since the geography cannot be ignored, and because Hungary is energy dependent on Russia, which is very important for the country. What are the next steps for the Fidesz party? Is Orbán going to jail? Well, so far, Péter Magyar didn't say anything about him going to jail. What we know at this moment is that he has asked the president of Hungary, which is not to be confused with the prime minister, who is Orbán. The president of Hungary is Tamás Súlyog, and he has been asked by Péter Magyar to resign, but nothing further from Péter Magyar's side towards Orbán. What we know so far is that he's not resigning at all. He's rearranging his party, and he has promised that they will come back in the political scenery stronger than ever before. So now we're after the elections. What are the next steps for Péter Magyar? Well, he said recently at a press conference that from the first week of May, the new government will start ruling. And until then, he will give out the new mandates to the candidates, and the new government will start ruling from the beginning of May.
That's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. If there's any question that we missed, any question that you still might have, drop it in the comments and we might answer it in the next video. So give us a follow to not miss anything.